just met with President-Elect Trump. And the purpose of the meeting was for me to assert to him the concerns and the needs of all New Yorkers. My job as mayor is to be their voice and to give him perspective on what New Yorkers are feeling right now, what their concerns are, what their fears are. First of all, we talked about regulation of Wall Street. I raised my concerns about any repeal of the Dodd-Frank bill and what it would do in terms of furthering the economic security of New Yorkers and of millions and millions of Americans. I talked to him about concerns about proposed deportations. I gave him the perspective of the NYPD that any initiative that would create a rift between our police all over the country and the communities they serve, that would make it impossible for police and community to communicate, that would sow distrust between law enforcement and neighborhoods, would be counterproductive. I talked to him about police-community relations in general, and specifically the question of stop and frisk. I tried to provide perspective on how stop and frisk had created a wedge between police and community when it was used in an unconstitutional manner, when it was overused, and how since we changed that policy, the city had gotten safer, and that we knew we were never going back to that policy, that we were going to continue on a path of neighborhood policing and building a bond between police and community. I talked to him about our Muslim community. I let him know something that so many people don't know, that there are 900 Muslim members of the NYPD protecting all of us, protecting every community, every kind of person. And I told him that we were very concerned that we had to show all New Yorkers, including Muslim New Yorkers, that they were welcome, and that exclusionary policies would undermine our ability to create unity. Exclusionary policies would undermine our ability to create a dynamic where everyone felt a part of this community equally ready to work to protect each other, ready to work with law enforcement for the good of all. I also raised concerns about some of the messages and some of the rhetoric that for so many people had been hurtful. And I let them know that so many New Yorkers were fearful, and that more had to be done to show that this country can heal, that people be respected. I left the meeting with the door open for more dialogue. It's well known we have very, very substantial differences in beliefs and ideology. But at the end of the meeting, we agreed that this was a conversation that would continue. I reiterated to the President-elect that I would be open-minded as we continue substantive discussions, but I would also be vigilant. And I would be swift to react anytime an action is taken that will undermine the people of New York City. I expressed to him that I knew we had very real philosophical differences, but that I was ready to work on these issues and to represent the needs of the people of New York City, but I wanted to do it from a perspective of saying, let me put my cards on the table. Not only about what I believe, but what the interests are of my city, what people's needs are, what their fears are. I wanted to start the relationship by being crystal clear and very blunt about those. And it was a candid dialogue and a substantive dialogue.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.